Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus Part. If this is your first time, thank you for checking us out. You can find us on wherever you get your podcasts, our YouTube channel, and also our website, atbpod.com. Well, this week we're going to do things a little bit different. I went on Instagram and asked people to ask me some questions. We'll do a Q&A. I got a whole bunch of questions here that people hit me up on Instagram, and I'm going to answer these to the best of my ability, one at a time. Once in a while, we've been doing this every now and then, and I figured this be a good time. I just got married, so this is kind of something that would be kind of fun for me. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so first question is, how was your wedding? Well, I've been asked this all the time since I got married, and for me, my wedding was amazing. My sister with my wife planned pretty much the whole thing and pretty much did everything. Uh, they put together a amazing wedding. I got to pick the wedding colors, which was red and gold for obvious reasons. If you know me, I'm a 49er fan, so that's why our wedding colors are red and gold. Uh, yeah, it was amazing. It was one of the best days of my life. I think the second best day of my life, the first obviously was the birth of my daughter, but yeah, it was fun. For me, the best part of this wedding was being around friends and family. I've got to see my groomsmen, who some don't even live on the island, but to have them all in the same group and in the same area at the same time meant a lot to me. And we had a lot of fun. It was amazing. It was fun for my wife. Her family came down from New York, and they had about 50 people that came down for this. And her Sasha's family is just amazing people, and they just pretty much had fun here in Hawaii, and we're all happy to celebrate the love that I have and the love Sasha has for me. Yeah, it was fun. I had an amazing time. Okay, how is married life so far? And do I feel like anything has changed since I got married? Well, me and Sasha have been together for a long time. She's been living with me for the past year or so, and she's been at my house for all the time. And she's team mom for my daughter's volleyball. She's pretty much my rock, and I felt like we were married. If not, we already had the commitment prior to us saying the vows. So that aspect, nothing much has changed. I gotta wear this thing, which is taking some getting used to because I banged my hands around a lot, and yeah, I had to get a like a fake one so that I don't bust this nice one up. So yeah, other than that, it's pretty much the same. Uh yeah, for me, I think also the build up and not anxiety, but I guess the it was always in the back of my head since we got engaged, like, okay, we're gonna have to do this. And I get nervous when I gotta speak in public when it's a something that's kind of emotional for me. And obviously saying my vows was emotional, and I kind of got choked up. So I'm glad all that part is over. But yeah, I think nothing much has changed. I get to call Sasha my wife. Uh, for her, having people call her Mrs. Park kind of makes me happy. So that part changes. So yeah, so not much, pretty much just little things, but not anything big. And yeah, like I said, I was committed to her as if I was married for years. So that that's just the same, I guess. So yeah, nothing much has changed in that aspect. Okay, what is your go-to karaoke song? Well, this is a funny question because I normally don't sing karaoke. And one of the few times I have, we were in Sasha's um cousin's house in New York, and it was I think it was New Year's Eve, to be honest. And we were drinking mezcal or something like that. And yeah, we just put on YouTube karaoke and we just sang random songs. We all kept picking them, and it wasn't like one of us had a mic and was singing by ourselves. We all sang together, and I can get behind that because I can't sing too well. So if we're all singing together, then it's fine. I think that night it was super cool because I was with Sasha's family, and they kind of have the same taste as music as I do. So it was fun, and we were just singing and drinking. So that was cool. Shout out to Annie and her husband. That was a fun night and one of the few times I've sang karaoke. The second was my wedding night. We did the same thing with my my boys at the beach house we rented out in North Shore. And to be honest, my favorite go-to karaoke song I realized would probably be Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Peppers. So go Google that if you don't know that song. It's a cool song. Okay. What would your personal warning label be? My personal warning label would be Oh, and just to let you know, I haven't really looked at these questions to formulate an answer, so might take a little bit. What would my personal warning label be? I think my personal warning label would be if I'm mad, you're probably gonna hear me repeat myself multiple times. And recently I've been understanding that's what I do. So I guess that would be it. If I'm angry and I'm mad at you, I'm probably gonna repeat the same thing over and over and over again. I guess that would be it. Who would your dream celebrity be to meet? Huh. I don't know. I always heard like don't meet your heroes because they might let you down, but there's a bunch of celebrities I would want to meet. My favorite band's Metallica, probably the whole band, every single one of them. I would want to meet Mike Shinoda of Linkin Park, another band I'm a fan of, but his creativity would be is next level, and it'd be somebody I would wanna talk to. I think celebrity wise, oh, I kind of want to meet The Rock. He seems like somebody cool to talk to, I guess, and not just meet. Like if I could meet and have one-on-one conversations, that would be what probably would be it. Not just hello and take a picture kind of thing. I probably would think of more after I'm done recording, but off the top of my head, that would be it. Okay, would you ever promote again? This question has been coming up a lot recently, and the answer to your question is yes, I would be down to promote again, but not a weekly, nightly club event. I'm definitely not doing that again. I am over that. Yeah, pretty much I'm never going to do that again. One-offs and concerts, I am down to promote, and just to put it out there, me and Happa got something cooking. So keep an eye out for that. Pretty soon we'll be letting you guys know if everything pans out. We got something cooking for sure. Okay. If you get to relive one day of your life, which one would it be? This is this is a cool question. I can maybe explain this in my opinion. I always thought like my dream would be if heaven was you got to relive all the best days of your life. So That would be my dream. If like when I pass away, I go to heaven, and part of heaven is you get to relive the your best days that you had, and you, because there's more than one day I would want to choose. Um, yeah, that would be a too tough question to answer with one single day. So there would be a bunch, but yeah, I like from little kid time all the way up. Of course, I wouldn't mind reliving my wedding again. That was a cool. That whole week was super cool. Watching my daughter get born and holding her for the first time. I would want to relive that, but there's so many, especially days with my mom, and yeah, I could. There's not one I could choose. Let's see. If you could bring back any trend from the past, what would it be? I know what would it be. Okay, back in the I think late early 2000s, there were these cell phones that had walkie-talkies. It was called Nextel. And I think Fast and the Furious made it popular, but I love Nextel because you pretty much whoever had a Nextel, you had a walkie-talkie to, and you can do it like off island to the mainland or whatever, but it was a walkie-talkie and it was just the most convenient. It was cool. You could talk to your friends real fast, like click it and like, oh, I'm downstairs, come get me, or whatever. It was just imagine having like a 24/7 walkie-talkie with all your friends. And for me, that was cool. So I would say, and it was super popular back then. So the trend I would pick that I could bring back from the past would be everybody would have Nextels, or at least my friends would have Nextel, and yeah, that would be cool. Okay. Have you ever had a guest throw you off during an episode? Um, I definitely had guests say stuff that hit home and kind of choked me up a little bit. I think I had a pageant girl once who just kept giving me cookie cutter answers. I couldn't get her to give me her personality. And that kind of threw me off because I was trying to navigate getting her to open up. And eventually I did. And it was the weirdest question. It was, what do you watch on Netflix? And then she just came out of her shell and just was being herself. And that to me was super cool. But throw me off, I think I had Sam Choi on one time and he told me his most famous person he ever got to meet and cook for was John Wayne. And I kind of wasn't expecting that answer. So that kind of threw me off. But yeah, other than that, that would be it, I think. I want to take this time right now to shout out my sponsors, Defend Hawaii. Defend Hawaii been with me from day one. They got some new stuff coming out. They just dropped this collaboration with Chris Brown from the UH football team, who's the defensive coach, and he has a collaboration Lions Den, and he does this every year. But go check them out at their store in Winter Mall called No One. Also, go take a look on their website, defendhawaii.com. Pick out whatever you want to order. If you use promo code ATBPod upon checkout, you'll get 15% off your whole entire order. Go look at it, man. Defend Hawaii got some cool stuff, and I'm rocking it. I rock it all the time. I wear it. My daughter wears it, and I'm definitely proud to have them as a sponsor. Go take a look. Defendhawaii.com. Okay, back to the questions. What guests would you have back in a heartbeat? Well, I do have a lot of my guests back that inspire me and that I'm friends with. Obviously, my favorite, well, I can't say my favorite, but the two I have back the most is DJ Happa Boy, who's my like my little brother, and Becky Mitz. I enjoy talking to Becky Mitz. I feel like she's like one of my long lost friends that I've like me and her just clicked. She was the MC at my wedding, and DJ Happa Boy was my best man. But there's a lot of guests I bring back. I do those catching up episodes. I've had like Ronnie, Peter, a bunch of um people back on my show, and for the most part, I would have any guest back if they wanted to come back. And Bruh Cruz, I had him on multiple times, and he's definitely somebody I would want to have back. And yeah, I think pretty much all my guests I would want to have back. But we'll see. We'll see. I always trying to get new people, and yeah, I don't mind catching up with some guests I had in the past. It's always fun, and especially the ones that are close to me personally. That those are always cool. Okay. What is something that my listeners or viewers don't know behind the scenes? Well, I don't know if you've seen episodes, but I kind of let people know that behind the scenes, like I'm not in a studio or any place cool recording this stuff. I'm literally between my desk, which is over here, which is a mess, and my TV and bed, as if you can see, and don't judge my room because it's messy. But I guess that would probably be the gist of it. I behind the scenes is pretty much it is what you get. It's just me talking. So I do my own editing. As you know, I had a producer, Boy Band John, who couldn't produce anymore because of his job. He got promoted, but I think yeah, me editing the whole show from start to finish. I find my own guests. Other than that, um, I get tips from Hoppa on video editing, and anybody that has suggestions, I always kind of listen to it all open ear. But other than that, there's nothing really behind the scenes that goes on. I do talk to my guests prior to them coming on just to touch base with them, but pretty much when we're talking is it's just on the fly, and I don't have any questions or agenda. I just have key points that I want to talk about, and that's about it. We just go, and that's kind of what I wanted my podcast to be about. And for the most part, behind the scenes, there is a real bridge. If you don't know from previous episodes, there's a walk bridge by my house, and it's a place where I used to play with my friends when I was little, go fishing, talk story. To this day, me and my friends go over there and drink beers or whatever, and talk story, and the kind of organic conversations I have with my friends on the bridge by my house is what I want to capture on this podcast, those same kind of organic conversation. That's how I came up with the name Above the Bridge. So I guess behind the scenes, that it was kind of not much. Okay. What is the stupidest habit you have or superstition before recording? I don't know if it's stupid, but I do have habits before I record. I definitely take my lion's mane. It helps me focus a lot better. I definitely kind of lock in when I do it. I shave and brush my teeth, even though you can't smell my breath, but I feel like it makes me feel cleaner and more confident, I guess. But other than that, there's no really superstition or habit. There are some guests that I get nervous for, especially like the bigger name celebrities. I kind of get myself psyched up, I guess, for and a little nervous, but other than that, that's about it. I don't have any habits or yeah. I guess not. What are the items on your shelf and if you can explain them? Okay, well, I've never done that before. Well, I have these they're called Vinyl these dolls right here, and they were from Disneyland, and they were a blind box, and I don't think they make them anywhere. As Vinylmation, I think was the name, and these are my favorite ones, except the Donald, these two, and they were blind boxes. If you know me, I'm a super huge fan of Star Wars, and I bought maybe like five or six of them just to try and win that Darth Vader, and the last one was Darth Vader, and it's a Mickey Mouse Darth Vader, and then I love Peter Pan. Peter Pan is who I try to base my life off of where I don't want to grow up. So Peter Pan, Vinylmation, and Darth Vader. Donald Duck, I was a fan of. I used to have uh it was like stuffed Donald Duck when I was growing up. As a little kid, I always slept with a Donald Duck. So that's why I have it. And one of my listeners asked me to put it back on the shelf because I think I did, and then I stopped, and then she asked me to put it back on. So I was like, okay, put it back on. Um, Obviously, the helmet is my favorite football team. That goes without saying. 49ers will win the Super Bowl this year. My A picture of me and my daughter at Disneyland. And if you don't know by now, I am a big fan of Disneyland and all things Disney. Uh, My daughter gave me both of these things. One is a shot glass from the Aria Hotel. I don't know if you can see it, but it says Aria on it, and her name's Aria. So, and this is I have a lightsaber from Disneyland and from Galaxy's Edge, and this is a kyber crystal, which changes the color of your lightsaber. And I always wanted a black one, and my daughter bought me one for Christmas. So this is it right there. It's a black kyber crystal. Bet you didn't think that was gonna be something. The last thing I have is from my wife. It was a Peter Pan tin that came from her trip to Japan in Tokyo. She got this for me, and it's just a tin of Peter Pan, and yeah, just my one of my favorite movies and characters. And of course, it's my uh sponsors for medicinal mushroom. We can shout them out right now. So shout them out, Medicinal Mushroom Hawaii. They're your locally based medicinal mushroom company based out of here in Hawaii. And they have now five different types of extracted mushrooms. We have lion's mane, turkey tail, chaga, red reishi, and the new one is cordyceps. Each one of these mushrooms have a medicinal property, and if you go on their website, medmushroomhigh.com, all these properties and what the benefits of each one of these mushrooms do is explained to you. I take all five religiously. I'll take the first three in the morning with my coffee. The red reishi I'll take at night, and this new one, cordyceps, which I love, I take it as a pre-workout and just a little energy boost. It helps bring oxygen throughout your body, and it gives you like an energy boost. And yeah, I'm very proud to have these guys as a sponsor. So if you do take a look, go to medmushroomhigh.com. If you use promo code ATB Pod Upon, check out all capital letters. You'll get 45% off your first tincture of extracted mushrooms. Check them out, try it out, let them know how it works for you, and let me know also because I'm a fan, I'm an advocate, and I am definitely someone who believes in this stuff. And no, it's not no crazy psychedelic mushrooms. You can buy this stuff at the store. It's all good. Go take a look. Medmushroomhigh.com. Okay, now back to my questions. Let's see. That's the first time anybody asked me about my shelf. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's see. Did you ever want to delete an episode after I dropped it? Uh, huh. No, but I listened to a few of the earlier episodes and some stuff was a little embarrassing and I kind of seen the progression I've started to make throughout the years, but nothing I would want to retract. I know some of my guests said or did some risky things and wanted their episode deleted, so I kind of did that for them, but because they were getting into a new job field or something like that. So for me, it is what it is. It's me as raw as it can be. And if I drop it, I put it out there, I got to be proud of it, right? And if not, then why would I do it? So there are stuff I edit out that you guys don't know, but it's stuff that probably would get me canceled or stuff I shouldn't be saying. I say a lot of dumb stuff if you know me personally. So yeah. But other than that, nope, uh I'm not ashamed or ever wanted to delete an episode. Okay. How did you or Hoppa get so close? How did you and Hoppa get so close? Taylor Tadani, my best friend. He was my best man. How we got so close, I can't speak for him, but I can speak for myself. We got so close for this basic reason, and I say it all the time, and so does he. We show up. Basically, that means everything. We show up, and that goes for the good, the bad, everything in between, whatever it is. We're there for each other, and um, for me, I can say Happa has a lot of the same values that's in line with my beliefs. For me, Happa is probably one of the loyalest people you will ever meet. He'll he'll die on a hill with you if need be, and he's someone who is as real as it gets. Like there's no bullshit with him. He's pretty much as honest as you can be, and good or bad, and he's definitely somebody that I consider family, like my little brother. Uh yeah, he's very loyal. He's been through all my ups and downs. I've been through all his ups and downs together, and his work ethic is something that uh kind of matches mine, if not even more, but we have the same goals and ways to hit goals, and our ideas were he's the same as me, where we're not afraid to pull a trigger on an idea. Even if it doesn't work, we're gonna try. And everything in life is all about trying, and a lot of things fail. He's seen me fail, I've seen him fail, but we also seen each other succeed, and we always help each other out. uh that's a good question. And yeah, like I said, I can't speak for him, but I think probably be the same answer. We definitely think alike. We definitely did a lot of the same things, especially when I was his age or when I was uh younger and single. But yeah, he's been there through it all, and like I said, it's pretty much we show up. We show up. Yeah. Guess that would be the answer to that. Plus, I knew him at a young age, and which is crazy because everything that I taught him while he was like learning this business and growing, and I taught him a lot, but throughout the later part of our life, I've learned a lot from him as well. His, like I said, his work ethic, his his grind. Yeah, I learned a lot from him, and yeah, it's full circle. Like he learned from me, I learned from him. We learn from each other, and he's somebody I know who has my bat, and I have his bat. And actually, a lot of my friends are like that, and I'm blessed to have a lot of friends. If you see my wedding party or pictures of it, I had nine groomsmen, and they always say you can count your truest friends on one hand. I'm fortunate enough to have more than that, and as of all my friends, we're all kind of the same. So yeah. Some more crazy than others, but yeah. All right. Who would be my dream guest? Well, I don't know. I would say any one of the band members of Metallica. I would Mike Shinoda, Linkin Park. Also, celebrities I would want to meet. The Rock. Um, Probably the coach for the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan. That he'd be somebody cool to talk to. George Kittle, couple players from the Niners. I would want as guests. Hmm. I would kind of want. I don't know if you guys know the author Dan Brown. He wrote Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons. I read pretty much all of his books, and I wouldn't mind having him as a guest. Uh, yeah, I'm pretty much not too picky with my guests. If you've been following the show, I have the most randomest, different kind of people as a guest. So yeah, I'm not yeah, I'm not too I'm whatever. But yeah, I'm down for any kind of guest. I would yeah. I wouldn't mind having GSP as a guest who's a old time UFC fighter. He was one of the guys I like to watch fight. So let's see. Which episode surprised me the most once the mics were off? Well, that's funny. That's a good question. I have a lot of conversations when I'm done recording, and a lot of those conversations get pretty deep, and I probably I delete them if it is recording, I delete them. I respect my guests. Not a lot of times they say, oh, like off the record or whatever. And it becomes a cool conversation between me and my guests that no one needs to know or hear or see. And I don't talk about or share. I do have a few that really hit home with me. I do have had a few conversations that changed my life. Not changed my life, but made me rethink things in my life. That would be pretty much it. And I say every single one of my guests, I'll talk with them after the tapes are rolling for a while, sometimes super long. My wife's telling me to get out, like she like go sleep. But yeah, that would be yeah, it a lot I guess surprised me, but more inspired me. And a lot of times it's funny too. Like a lot I have a lot of fun conversations that you guys don't get to hear. Anyway, um, what do you do for fun? To be honest, this one is an easy thing, and it's kind of within the last 4 years. What my favorite thing to do, and it has become, which is a trip, is watching my daughter play volleyball. I love to watch her play. I love to see her passion. I love to see her compete. I love to see her energy. I love to see her doing what she loves to do. Uh, that is right now the favorite thing I love to do is watch her play volleyball. Same with watching Happa DJ. Like he's like my little brother. I'm watching him do his passion. He's good. He's the best, and that's something I love to do. For fun, I obviously like to watch every single Niner game. I recently went to a Metallica concert in San Francisco. But here in Hawaii, like on the rig, I like to go to the beach. I'll watch UFCs with my cousin Booby and friends. Uh, we do go H3 Lookout on Wednesdays and kind of chill over there. Um, yeah, I don't go dinner with other families and yeah, I think pretty much the basic stuff. But if I had to pick like one thing, like what I like to do for fun, I would say watch my daughter play volleyball. For me, that is the funnest. I get super stoked when I know it's a weekend where she has a big tournament at the convention center or we're going to travel to watch her play and watching her play makes is fun for me. It makes me happy watching her do what she's passionate about. Yeah. All right. Okay. This is from my friend Tomani, and I'm putting him on blast, but because I know his original question, which is none. But what would you give up for a Niners Super Bowl win? Person, object, hobby, etc. What would I give up for the Niners to win the Super Bowl? If I could control it, like if I did this and guaranteed to win the Super Bowl, I'd probably that list would probably be a lot better than what I'm gonna tell you. But if the if I'll say this, I would give up a lot. I'll give up drinking beer for 2 months if the Niners win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying alcohol. I'm saying beer, Tomani. Uh, I don't know. What did you give up this past year for the Eagles to win the Super Bowl? But shout out to Tomani, also Happa, Donovan, Kahale. You guys are all real Eagles fans, and you guys got the Super Bowl win, and you guys are legit. You guys are definitely real fans from day one. Uh, what would I give up for a Niners Super Bowl win? What like I don't know. I'll give up. I have to think about this because it's something I'll realistically have to give up. Like I would say swearing, but I'll watch one UFC or Niners game and that's out the door. Uh, I would give up. I don't know. Tomani, I'll think about this and answer that question another time. But yeah, we'll figure it out. I don't know yet. But if I could control it, and if like God said, if you do this, the 49ers will win the Super Bowl, I probably would give up a lot of different things. So yeah, I don't know. I definitely would want them to win. It's been a while. Just want to take a short break to shout out my last sponsor, and that is the iRep Detail Supply. They're your one-stop shop superstore for everything you need to detail your vehicle. They have a store in Temple Valley Shopping Center, also in Las Vegas. Anything you need to detail your car, truck, van, whatever it is, I got buffers, waxes, I got uh clay. My truck was shiny because of these guys, and their staff is above anything you can imagine. They know anything and everything about detailing your car, and they'll help you out. They're super personable and excited to help you out. Shout out to Kaika, who's been running that store for a while and owns it. But iRep Detail Supply, they have a Temple Valley Shopping Center. If you go on their website, irepdetailsupply.com, promo code ATBpod upon checkout, 15% off whatever you need. Take a look at their website, make an order, and use the promo code. Okay, last question. Last question. What would you? Oh no, that was the one I just read. Oh, You have a lot of tattoos. Do any of your tats have specific meaning? And do you plan on getting more? Yes, my tattoos definitely have a lot of meaning. And I'll use B-roll to explain it. I have my daughter's name on my wrist, and it's an ambergram, which means you can read it straight and upside down. It says the same thing. My sleeve, it has a bunch of different things that are important to me. It has a dragon with an energy ball, which I like to feel describes my energy. I took a picture in Japan at the floating tori, which kind of moved me in a way when I seen it in real life. So from that exact picture, I gave it to my tattoo artist, Tattoo Rich. Shout out to Tattoo Rich, who did my sleeve, and he put made a stencil of the exact picture I took, and that's the tori on my arm. I have a lotus on my sleeve as well, which represents, if you don't know what a lotus represents, a lotus grows from the bottom of the pond or river or wherever it is in the dirt, muck, mud, and the grime of it, and it fights its way up to blossom, and it's one of the most beautiful flowers. But it has to go through all the gunk and crap to blossom. So I have a lotus, but I also have it in the color of yellow and purple, which are my mom's and dad's favorite colors because they're the ones who helped mold and brought me up through all the trials and tribulations, the muck or the dirt, and for me to blossom, I guess. But yeah, on my shoulder, I have a tattoo, and it's a Chinese celestial dragon, and it says Taekwondo Namja in Korean, which means Taekwondo brotherhood, and or Taekwondo man, and that my cousin Lao and Boob have also. Uh, we were given this stencil to get tatted once we achieved our black belt in Taekwondo, and it's meaningful for the three of us because a few different black belts have it, but we have ours in a different spot, which is higher up on our shoulder. So we the three of us have that tattoo. I have a band because I'm Year of the Tiger, and so is my cousin Lao. He has this exact same band and tiger on his arm. And yeah, on my collar line, I have a Metallica verse from one of my favorite songs of Nothing Else Matters. It says, "So close, no matter how far." And that's something I always tell my daughter, no matter where she is in life, physically, mentally, or anywhere, I'll always be there next to her, so close, no matter how far physically I'm always so close to her in her heart. So that's the line I have on my collar line. So close no matter how far. And it's one of my favorite songs. It's Happa remixed that song for my intro for this show. So Nothing Else Matters. If you don't know that song, go listen to it. It's very deep and it's from Metallica, and it's one of my favorites. I have a few others that I'm not really gonna mention, some ghetto ones from when I was in high school that we made on at the park and stuff. And yeah, that's about it. Yes, I do plan on getting more. I'm haven't really figured. I always said as soon as the Niners win another Super Bowl, I'll get a 49er tattoo somewhere. So that has yet to happen. Maybe I have to do it the other way around. I gotta get a 49er tattoo to for them to win it. That hey, that's what it is right there. Tomani. Instead of giving something up, I'll go get a 49er tattoo and then they'll win the Super Bowl. How about that? That might happen. Okay. That's it. That answers both questions. But anyways, I think that's it for all these questions. Thank you for everyone who submitted a question online. I like doing these. These are fun. It's a little weird being on camera without a guest or when I'm just kind of talking to myself, but they're fun. These things are fun. I kind of want to do this more often. Um Also, if you do want to follow me on my social media, you can go to Above the Bridge podcast on Instagram. Our YouTube channel is Above the Bridge podcast. Our website atbpod.com, and my personal Instagram is Thaddy Daddy High. Give me a follow, some DMs or whatever. If you have any ideas or questions or guests or anything, just DM me. I'm very approachable on social media as long as you're not telling me dumb stuff or being rude, but hit me up. I'm open. I do love suggestions because I'm always trying to make this show better, especially coming from listeners. I always try to listen to what you guys have to say and I can kind of change things around. I do have some future goals for this show that I'm gonna start implementing now that my wedding is done. I can focus a little more on Above the Bridge and the direction I want it to go. And honestly, thank you guys for always tuning in, listening and supporting because it means a lot. I do selfishly gain a lot of inspiration and I gain a lot of insight from talking to my guests. Sometimes I forget it's not just for me, it's for my listeners as well. So give me any kind of suggestions or input. I'm always open and I'm always down if you know anybody that you think would be a good guest. I'm always down to put them on and chat with them and gain some inspiration. I got some cool guests coming up and I think you guys will be happy following the show, but I appreciate you with all my heart. This has been one of my favorite things to do in life. Yeah, this could be one of the things I do for fun. I do this show because it's fun. Anyway, thank you for tuning in and shout out to the Artist Group Network. Aloha.